What I wish I knew at 18 instead of 28? That Young Elder News 9 would be my go-to for all things news and more. Broadcasting live worldwide, we've got over 3 million listeners tuned in every day. From world news to stock markets, government topics to the quirkiest stories, we cover it all on Young Elder TV. And remember folks, you heard it here first. Our friendly team brings you the latest scoops with a dash of that good old Southern charm. Whether you're curious about the latest political twists or need the lowdown on the economy, we're your go-to source. We make sure you're always in the know, in the most engaging and entertaining way possible. So buckle up, y'all. It's time to dive into the world of Young Elder News 9, where the news is always fresh, fun, and downright fascinating. Stay tuned, spread the word, and remember, you heard it here first. Young Elder News 9, the hottest show in the game.
What's going on YouTube? Listen up, Young Elder Gang. This is Dr. Joe Blow at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, fam. I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes. In this video, you will find history, definitions, scripture, information, and best of all, what we Americans have been deprived of from the beginning, the truth. Keep in mind, this content used in this video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth as we best understand it today. Be sure to hit that like button, Young Elder Gang. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell and don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. All right, let's get started. Today, we will go in on 15 American foods that are illegal in other countries. If you live in America, which we all do, chances are you've eaten these American foods. I mean, how do you avoid them? Food companies have made it their mission over the years to sell products with fancy marketing. Sadly, many of them include terrible ingredients for our bodies and minds. Why are these products so bad? That's a great question, and one we will dive into. To make it simple to understand, all 15 of these American food items include either dyes, preservatives, flavorants, and/or pesticides. When these are added to our foods, there is a higher chance of health and even behavior issues. Ritz Crackers seem to be a staple here in America, but in many countries you can't even buy them because they're so unhealthy for people. According to Forbes, 129 million kids worldwide from the ages of 5-19 years old have ADHD. But is there a correlation between ADHD and the food that our children are eating? The Child Mind Institute conducted a study about just that, which you can read about here. In a nutshell, ADHD is not caused by eating a sugary diet, but it definitely makes the symptoms of ADHD and other behavioral issues in children worse. Before we break down these 15 food that are illegal in other countries, why is it important to buy organic and clean your fruits and vegetables? According to EWG's 2022 Shopper's Guide to Pesticides in Produce, more than 90% of samples of strawberries, apples, cherries, spinach, nectarines, and grapes tested positive for residues of 2 or more pesticides. Kale, collard, and mustard greens, as well as hot peppers and bell peppers, had the most pesticides detected, 103 and 101 pesticides in total, respectively. So wash your fruits and veggies because the long-term effects of pesticides can be harmful. Fresh produce can harbor bacteria, fungi, and other microbes along with trace amounts of chemicals. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to help improve the safety of fruits and vegetables. Start clean. Cleanliness and safe produce go hand in hand. Many farmers use pesticides on their produce, and produce can become contaminated with pesticides during packaging, preparation, or storage. Washing can remove dirt, pebbles, insects, and other debris. Produce is often coated with natural beeswax or petroleum-based film to protect it during transport and extend its shelf life. Bacteria can get trapped in the wax. Number 1 on our list is Twinkies. High fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated oils are bad, but it's the Yellow 5 that signed the death warrant on Twinkies. The EU requires warning labels on artificial dyes, and countries like Austria, Finland, and Norway don't even take the chance of putting Twinkies on their shelves. Prolonged use of the food dye tartrazine, FD&C Yellow No 5, and its effects on the gastric mucosa of Wistar rats tartrazine is one of the most widely used artificial foods, drugs, and cosmetic dyes. It is a nitrous derivative and is known to cause allergic reactions such as asthma and urticaria, as well as having been the focus of studies on mutagenesis and carcinogenesis due to its transformation into aromatic amine sulfonilic acid after being metabolized by the gastrointestinal microflora. 45 male Wistar rats were assigned to a control group A or a treatment one, B. The treatment group received 7.5 milligrams (x-kg-1 x-day-1) of tartrazine daily in drinking water offered ad libitum for 10 months from weaning to the age of 12 months. There was a significant increase in the number of lymphocytes and eosinophils of the gastric antrum mucosa. No carcinogenetic changes in any gastric area were observed during the study. As tartrazine belongs to the azo class, it is still a possible food carcinogen. Other studies with different doses and schedules observing their effects associated to other carcinogens should be carried out if their safe use is to be recommended. Yellow 5 dye can be found in foods like cubed or powdered chicken broth, breakfast cereals, Jell-O, Kool-Aid, pasta, pancake mix, frosting, pickles, macaroni and cheese, creamy orange cheeses, yogurt, butter and margarine, ice cream, popsicles, many sodas, alcohol mixes and some beers, boxed dinners such as cheese-flavored rice or pasta, flavored milk, orange-colored chips. Number 2 on our list is stovetop stuffing, a combo of beta-hydroxy acid, BHA, and butylated hydroxytoluene, BHET. Take this off the menu in Japan, the UK, and many European countries. BHAs can be found in the following foods products. BHA is added to butter, lard, meat, cereals, baked goods, sweets, beer, vegetable oils, potato chips, snack foods, nuts and nut products, dehydrated potatoes, and flavoring agents. BHTs can be found in the following food and products: chewing gum, active dry yeast, frozen convenience foods, prepared cereal products, prepared snacks, dried and processed meat, potato flakes, enriched rice products, and shortening. Many of America's favorite cereal brands contain a dash of BHT, a synthetic antioxidant that prevents vegetable oils from going rancid. BHT may be added directly to cereal, though it is commonly added to the plastic or wax paper liner of the packaging. From there, it migrates into food. BHT is an FDA-approved food ingredient, but we're already well down the path of removing it from our cereals. This change is not for safety reasons, but because we think consumers will embrace it, General Mills says. The company claims the move has been underway for more than a year and was not motivated by the petition that Harry launched on February 5th. Harry also has called on Kellogg's to remove BHT. Number 3 on our list is Coffee Mate Coffee Creamer. Hydrogenated soybean and cottonseed oils got Coffee Mate banned in Austria, Hungary, and several Scandinavian countries. Hydrogenated vegetable oil is a common ingredient in many processed foods. Many manufacturers prefer this oil for its low cost and long shelf life. However, it's associated with several serious side effects. This article examines hydrogenated vegetable oil, explaining its uses, downsides, and food sources. Hydrogenated vegetable oil is made from edible oils extracted from plants such as olives, sunflowers, and soybeans. Because these oils are typically liquid at room temperature, many companies use hydrogenation to get a more solid and spreadable consistency. During this process, hydrogen molecules are added to alter the texture, stability, and shelf life of the final product. One trusted source. Hydrogenated vegetable oils are also used in many baked goods to improve taste and texture. Additionally, these oils are more stable and resistant to oxidation, which is the breakdown of fats when exposed to heat. Thus, they're easy to use in baked or fried foods, as they're less likely to become rancid than other fats. 3 trusted source. Yet hydrogenation also creates trans fats, a type of unsaturated fat that can harm your health. 4 trusted source. Although many countries have tightened regulations around hydrogenated vegetable oil, it can still be found in a variety of food products. Cottonseed oil is a commonly used vegetable oil that's derived from the seeds of cotton plants. A whole cottonseed contains about 15 to 20% oil. Unrefined cottonseed oil contains a toxin called gossypol. This naturally occurring toxin gives the unprocessed oil its yellow color and protects the plant from insects. Unrefined cottonseed oil is sometimes used as a pesticide. While gossypol been linked to infertility and liver damage, the toxin is removed during processing. Cottonseed oil goes through an extensive refining process which removes the threat of gossypol poisoning. Cottonseed oil is used in cooking and is also used as a home remedy for certain skin conditions and ailments. This oil is high in polyunsaturated fat, which can help lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and increase HDL, good cholesterol. It also contains saturated fat, which has the opposite effect on cholesterol and may increase the risk of heart disease. 1 tablespoon, 14 grams of cottonseed oil contains 7 grams trusted source of polyunsaturated fat and 3.5 grams of saturated fat. According to American Heart Association trusted source guidelines, this is an acceptable amount of saturated fat in a vegetable oil. Cottonseed oil is commonly used in processed foods because of its ability to extend shelf life. Some of these products include potato chips, cookies and crackers, margarine, mayonnaise, salad dressing. Cottonseed oil is also a popular ingredient for baking. It provides a solid fat index for shortening, making for baked goods that are moist and chewy. It also helps achieve a creamy consistency in icing and whipped toppings. Cottonseed oil is also used by many fast food chains for deep frying because it enhances the flavor of food instead of masking it. It's also less expensive than other vegetable oils. Some processed foods may contain partially hydrogenated oils or trans fats, which raise your risk. Trusted source for cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Always read the label on packaged foods so that you can limit your intake of these ingredients. Cottonseed oil has many non-food uses too. In the 1800s, cottonseed oil was primarily used in oil lamps and to make candles. Nowadays, it's used in insecticides, laundry detergents, and cosmetics. Hydrogenated soybean oil can be found in food products such as margarine, fried foods, baked goods, coffee creamers, crackers, pre-made dough, vegetable shortening, microwave popcorn, potato chips, packaged snacks. Cottonseed oil can be found in products such as potato chips, cookies and crackers, margarine, mayonnaise, salad dressing. Number 4 on our list is Ritz Crackers. Banned in Australia, Switzerland, Hungary, Iceland, Norway and Denmark, hydrogenated cottonseed oils. See above comments about the dangers of hydrogenated cottonseed oils. Number 5 on our list is Skittles. Skittles contain yellow 5 and yellow 6, both very bad, but the country of Norway banned Skittles because the candy contains titanium dioxide. Skittles has been making headlines in recent weeks, and not because a new flavor has been added to the popular Taste the Rainbow candy. Mars Wrigley, the company that makes Skittles, is being sued by a California man who claims the candy contains a known toxin that poses such a serious health risk that Skittles are unfit for human consumption. The ingredient in question? Titanium dioxide. A legal additive in the United States, titanium dioxide is used in everything from food to consumer goods, and the US Food and Drug Administration says regulated use of the product as a color additive in food is safe within certain restrictions. Still, in 2016, Skittles publicly declared it would get rid of the chemical compound in its products, according to a press release at the time from the Center for Food Safety, which called the substance harmful and potentially poisonous. But the ingredient remains, according to the lawsuit, which alleges the candy company is misleading consumers by not having eliminated titanium dioxide. The California plaintiff is apparently not the only one concerned about titanium dioxide. The European Union recently banned its use, citing concerns about serious health consequences. In response to the allegations, Justin Combs, Vice President of Research and Development at Mars Wrigley North America, told Health that safety is of paramount importance to Mars Wrigley. While we do not comment on pending litigation, all Mars Wrigley ingredients are safe and manufactured in compliance with strict quality and safety requirements established by food safety regulators, including the FDA. So, what does it all mean for you, the consumer? Should you stop eating Skittles or begin checking foods for the presence of titanium dioxide? Here's a closer look. What is titanium dioxide? An inorganic chemical, titanium dioxide is used as a dye to help products achieve a certain appearance, including whitening a product. Some experts and publications have described it as being akin to a paint primer that's used before the color is added to food in order to give products a uniform shine. Its presence is common in many items beyond Skittles, including coffee creamers, cake mixes, and chewing gum. It's also used for pigment and in cosmetics manufacturing. Titanium dioxide particles help light scatter and reflect. Kelly Johnson Arbor, Maryland, a medical toxicology physician at the National Capital Poison Center, told Health. Because of that, we often use it as a whitening agent. While Skittles don't include white in their lineup, Dr. Johnson Arbor theorizes that titanium dioxide is used to help contain all the other beautiful colors. Other food manufacturers use titanium dioxide to absorb water and keep moisture from clumping or degrading. Paul Westerhoff, PhD, an environmental engineer at Arizona State University who researches the biological and cellular effects of titanium dioxide, told Health. The chemical is also found in common household and industrial products such as paints, coatings, adhesives, paper, plastics and rubber, printing inks, coated fabrics and textiles, as well as ceramics. It's also used in sunscreens as a UV filtering ingredient, helping to protect a person's skin by blocking absorption, the ultraviolet light that can cause sunburn and cancer. It's all over the place in our environment, said Dr. Johnson Arbour. Titanium dioxide can be found in products like milk, coffee creamer, salad dressing, candy and sweets, chocolate, chewing gum, snacks, sauces, vitamin supplements. Number 6 on our list is US pork. Ractopamine is an animal feed additive used in US pigs. It's linked to several major health issues in humans and animals. US pork is banned in China, Russia, and the EU. Unlike the US, China, Russia, Taiwan, and the European Union ban or limit the use of ractopamine, a drug that promotes growth in pigs, cattle, and turkeys. Ractopamine is linked with serious health and behavioral problems in animals, and human studies are limited but evoke concerns. The US's current position on ractopamine favors agricultural trade over health risks to Americans. Ractopamine is a controversial drug used widely as an animal feed additive in industrial factory farms that raises significant food safety and animal welfare concerns for US and in turn eternal consumers. The US meat industry uses ractopamine to accelerate weight gain and promote feed efficiency and leanness in pigs, cattle, and turkeys. The drug mimics stress hormones and increases the rate at which the animals convert feed to muscle. In 1999, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, determined that ractopamine was safe and approved it for use in feed for pigs, later approving it for cattle and turkeys as well. Veterinarian oversight, however, is not required for producers to use ractopamine. It is available on an over-the-counter basis. Ractopamine is associated with major health problems in food-producing animals such as Downer syndrome and severe cardiovascular stress, and has also been linked to heart problems and even poisoning in humans. Most of the 196 countries in the world have banned or restricted ractopamine. Only the US and 25 other major meat-producing nations allow its use. A recent report by the research and testing publication Consumer Reports investigating 240 US pork products found that 1 in 5 products tested positive for ractopamine residues. Ractopamine also negatively affects meat taste and tenderness, providing an inferior quality food product. Studies on the potential human health effects of ractopamine are extremely limited. The only human study on which the new 2012 international standard from Codex is based on examined the effects of ractopamine on 6 young healthy men, one of whom dropped out after experiencing adverse health effects. Data from the European Food Safety Authority indicates that ractopamine causes elevated heart rates and heart-pounding sensations in humans. And other examples of health problems include information from the Sichuan Pork Trade Chamber of Commerce in China, which estimates that between 1998 and 2010, 1,700 people were poisoned from eating pork containing ractopamine. Ractopamine is the active ingredient in products marketed in the US as Paline for swine, Optiflex for cattle, and Topmax for turkeys. Number 7 on our list is pre-packaged ground beef. The pink slime that you find in the pre-packaged beef is a beef byproduct prepared with ammonia gas and used as a filler in ground beef. US beef is banned in the EU. Amy Oliver doesn't like pink slime. He doesn't want any of it in his hamburger. In fact, the famed British chef was so disgusted that McDonald's in the US was using this beef filler that he orchestrated a campaign to get rid of it. So, what is pink slime, as Jamie calls it, and what horrors does it hold? Once a cow has been butchered and disassembled into the various cuts, some fatty trimmings always remain. Traditionally, these have been used for pet food, but in 1991, Beef Products Inc., an American company, developed a process to convert the trimmings into what it calls boneless lean beef. The fatty portions are separated by spinning in a sophisticated centrifuge, leaving behind the muscle tissue, which is then ground into a slurry that is roughly 94% lean beef. This pink slime is then frozen into chips or blocks, ready to be incorporated into hamburger or into processed luncheon meats. Because meat trimmings are particularly susceptible to bacterial contamination, the company introduced a novel method to control the risk. Salmonella and E. coli bacteria, having evolved in an acidic environment, cannot survive under basic or alkaline conditions. Ammonia gas can introduce such conditions as it dissolves in water to form ammonium hydroxide, a base. An equilibrium is then established between the dissolved ammonia and the ammonium hydroxide, with very little ammonium hydroxide actually being present at any given time. But when it is used up, as in the reaction to destroy bacteria, it is replenished as more of the dissolved ammonia reacts with water. Ammonia gas is used to treat the beef slurry as it passes through specially designed stainless steel pipes. Some of the ammonia dissolves in the meat's moisture and maintains the alkaline conditions needed to control bacteria. Neither the dissolved ammonia nor the ammonium hydroxide it forms presents a health concern. Ammonia is a product of protein metabolism and therefore routinely forms in the human body. It ends up being converted into urea, which is then excreted in the urine. Since alkaline solutions are very effective at breaking down greasy materials, dissolved ammonia is widely used in cleaning agents. Many window cleaning products feature ammonia as their basic ingredient. And when Jamie Oliver made his version of pink slime on TV, cleaning agents were prominently featured. In a cleverly crafted made-for-TV piece, Jamie opened up a padlocked cabinet, obviously intended to emphasize the danger, and removed a bottle of ammonia that prominently features the skull and crossbones. I've never seen such a bottle. He then proceeded to place some meat trimmings in a washing machine that played the role of a centrifuge, and dumped in the ammonia cleaner liberally while admitting he has no idea how much to use. The impression given was that the meat is washed in an ammonia solution, which is not at all the case. Jamie's ugly mash solicited plenty of yucks and ews from the onlookers, along with snide comments about the food industry. Let's get real here. Whether or not ammonia is found in cleaning agents has nothing to do with whether it is safe or effective as an antibacterial agent in meat. We don't worry about salt in our food because it is a substance that is also spread on streets to melt ice. We worry about it because studies have shown that at some dose it can cause problems for some people. Ammonia in meat production has been well studied, and it is known that the amount added to boneless lean beef does not leave a residue to be concerned about. There is, however, some concern that the amounts used may not offer as much protection against bacteria as claimed, and if more is used, the meat develops an off-taste. Revulsion of hamburger because an industrial cleaning agent is used in processing is not warranted. Neither should the fact that meat trimmings, instead of being used for dog food, are centrifuged into a slurry that ends up in some burgers provoke disgust. When the issue of pink slime arises, the appropriate question is whether hamburger made with it differs significantly in terms of nutrition and safety from hamburger made without it. Perhaps surprisingly, this is not a difficult question to answer. McDonald's in the US has used pink slime. McDonald's in Canada has not, and the nutritional profile of the company's products is readily available. The fat and protein content in the US and Canadian burgers is the same. So it seems the use of the highly processed mash doesn't make a difference, and why should it? The processing actually removes fat from the trimmings. What is then added to the burger is no more fatty than the rest of the meat that is used. Jamie Oliver professes not to be against eating hamburgers. He says he just wants to know where the ingredients come from. And pink slime, he says, is not fit for human consumption. Well, how does one determine if a food is fit or not? By its microbiological safety and its chemical composition, not by its origin. That's more a matter of social and cultural views. Most North Americans don't find haggis or snake stew very appetizing, but don't mind gnawing on the ribs of a cow. Oliver's crusade for better nutrition is admirable, but imploring people to revolt against the use of ammonia-treated beef slurry is a misguided attempt to improve eating habits through scare tactics. Without a doubt, though, such tactics can achieve results. McDonald's has stopped using pink slime, although the company says the decision had nothing to do with Jamie Oliver's crusade. Right. Is hamburger made without pink slime in any way healthier? No. Hamburger is a fatty, salty food that should be consumed in limited amounts, whether it is made with pink slime or not. Actually, these days, with a push to reuse and recycle, one could argue that methods to convert unusable fatty meat remnants into usable lean beef should be pursued instead of being reviled. Basically, more meat is produced with less feed. Given that there's no safety or nutritional issue, why is that a problem? Jamie claims that such processing shows no respect for food or for people. Why is a more efficient use of butchered animal disrespectful? In any case, killing animals in order to eat them isn't exactly respectful in the first place, is it? Ammonia gas can be found in ground beef, cleaning products, some craft foods that turn milk into cheese. Think Velveeta. Number 8 on our list is Swiss rolls. Swiss rolls, while they are brown and white in color, include dyes like yellow 5 and red 40. They are banned in Norway and Austria. Number 9 on our list is Maraschino Cherries. Red 40 has been linked to allergies, migraine, and mental disorders in children. Why would we ever give our children food items with red 40? Maraschino cherries are banned in Austria, France, Finland, Norway, and the UK. Number 10 on our list is farmed salmon. Farmed fish are fed a chemical cocktail of feed, including methyl mercury and dioxins, not to mention antibiotics. Countries like Austria and New Zealand don't go near farmed-raised fish. Methyl mercury can be found in products such as fluorescent lights, batteries, and polyvinyl chloride. Methyl mercury is a widely distributed environmental toxicant with detrimental effects on the developing and adult nervous system. Due to its accumulation in the food chain, chronic exposure to methyl mercury via consumption of fish and sea mammals is still a major concern for human health, especially developmental exposure that may lead to neurological alterations, including cognitive and motor dysfunctions. Mercury-induced neurotoxicity and the identification of the underlying mechanisms has been a main focus of research in the neurotoxicology field. 3 major mechanisms have been identified as critical in methylmercury-induced cell damage, including I. Disruption of calcium homeostasis, I2. Induction of oxidative stress via overproduction of reactive oxygen species, or reduction of antioxidative defenses, and 3. Interactions with sulfhydryl groups. In vivo and in vitro studies have provided solid evidence for the occurrence of neural cell death, as well as cytoarchitectural alterations in the nervous system after exposure to methyl mercury. Signaling cascades leading to cell death induced by methyl mercury involve the release of mitochondrial factors such as cytochrome C and AIF, with subsequent caspase-dependent or independent apoptosis, respectively, induction of calcium-dependent proteases calpanes, interaction with lysosomes leading to release of cathepsins. Interestingly, several pathways can be activated in parallel depending on the cell type. In this paper, we provide an overview of recent findings on methylmercury-induced neurotoxicity and cell death pathways that have been described in neural and endocrine cell systems. Number 11 on our list is US milk. RGBH, also known as RBST, is a man-made growth hormone fed to dairy cows to boost milk production. US milk is banned in Japan, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and the EU. Always buy organic when it comes to milk, and if you can locally source your milk from local farms, even better. SBST can be found in milk products that are then turned into cheese, ice cream, dairy products, butter, yogurt. Number 12 on our list is Mountain Dew. Dew used to contain brominated vegetable oil. Consuming bromine has been linked to headaches, memory loss, skin issue, and more. It was banned in Japan and the EU. BVO is no longer used in Mountain Dew unless they do a Mountain Dew throwback beverage, but it is still found in Sundrop made by the Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. Bromated vegetable oil can be found in numerous generic citrus sodas including Mountain Lightning, Walmart sodas, Clover Valley, Dollar General sodas, Orangette, and Stars and Stripes. Number 13 on our list is US chicken. US chicken is banned in the EU because it is washed with chlorine. American chicken processors do it to protect consumers from foodborne diseases. Chlorine can be found in food products such as tomatoes, celery, olives, lettuce, and seaweed. It's also found in many canned vegetables due to the salt added to help preserve them. Ham, bacon, corned beef, organ meats, salami and sausages, prawns, canned tuna, scallops called salmon, raw oysters, mussels, lobster, crab, cod, milk chocolate, toffee, peanut butter, canned soups, tomato sauce, mayonnaise, French dressing, dried coconut, roasted and salted peanuts, scrambled eggs, and many baked goods. Number 14 on our list is Froot Loops. So many dyes and chemicals, countries like France, Austria, Norway, and Finland have banned Froot Loops. Number 15 on our list is US conventional corn. US corn is commonly sprayed with atrazine. Atrazine is linked to birth defects, and it's banned in 44 countries. Atrazine is found on these common items: field corn, sweet corn, sorghum, and sugarcane. Atrazine is one of the most commonly used herbicides in the United States. Approximately 80 million pounds of it are used across the country each year. It's a common contaminant of ground, surface, and drinking water. It's so dangerous to both people and wildlife that it has been banned by the European Union. Numerous studies have provided overwhelming evidence linking atrazine to significant health concerns, including increased risk of prostate cancer and decreased sperm count in men and a higher risk of breast cancer in women. Atrazine is linked to declines of endangered amphibians and of many other endangered species throughout the country. It is an endocrine disruptor that directly affects the sexual development of amphibians by changing their hormone cycle. Exposure to atrazine at levels as low as 0.1 parts per billion has been shown to affect the development of sex characteristics in frogs. In 2005, we forced the EPA to address atrazine and other pesticides that have polluted Austin's Barton Springs and harmed the endangered Barton Springs salamander. The next year, we achieved a legal victory that resulted in significant interim restrictions on use of 66 pesticides, including atrazine, throughout California that harmed California red-legged frogs. In 2009, the Center won another major victory that required the EPA to formally evaluate the harmful effects of 74 pesticides on 11 endangered and threatened species in the San Francisco Bay Area, and impose interim restrictions on use of these pesticides in and near endangered species habitats. We also notified EPA of the hazards of pesticides, including atrazine, on the polar bear. In 2010, Center litigation led the EPA to finally announce a nationwide ban on one of the most toxic endocrine disruptors, endosulfan. In 2011, along with Pesticide Action Network North America, we filed the most comprehensive legal action ever brought under the Endangered Species Act to protect imperiled species from pesticides. In 2015, the EPA announced a plan to analyze the impacts of atrazine and glyphosate, the two most commonly used pesticides in the United States, on 1,500 endangered plants and animals in the United States under the terms of a settlement reached with the Center. This led to the landmark 2016 risk assessment that showed that amount of the herbicide atrazine that's released into the environment in the United States is likely harming most species of plants and animals. Also in 2016, under the terms of a historic settlement reached with the Center, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced a plan to analyze the impacts of atrazine and glyphosate on 1,500 endangered U.S. plants and animals. We've also worked to gain protection under state and federal endangered species laws for wildlife that is particularly threatened by atrazine. We filed a scientific petition to list 404 southeast aquatic, riparian and wetland species as threatened or endangered in 2010. In 2012, we made the biggest ever move to protect amphibians and reptiles in the United States, filing a mega petition requesting endangered species action protection for 53 amphibians and reptiles in 45 states. The Center has also sought protection for individual species harmed by atrazine, including Townsend's big-eared bats and boreal toads.